It is now a great pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce you to a dear and long-time friend of the Iranian resistance, someone who has first-hand experience of the Iranian regime's intelligence and terrorist activities. The fifth director of the US Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, from 1993 to 2001. Please do put your hands together. Join me in welcoming Judge Looey Free.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friends and my colleagues. Madam Rejui, just to re-echo what's been said so many times more eloquently, thank you for your leadership and your courage and your vision and your eloquence in everything you do. This movement and freedom in the world at large benefits every day from your commitment and your drive. I'm particularly delighted to be here tonight in person. And, you know, it was reminding me when we heard this report of so-called threats. I had to analyze that myself as an old investigator. You know, who would a threat be directed against? First of all, it's not directed against Madam Rejui or any of you in the MEK, particularly those of you from Iraq. I can't imagine that a threat would discourage you or dampen your enthusiasm in one bit. Certainly, many of my colleagues here, particularly our military colleagues who have fought in war for freedom, I don't think any of them are afraid or reluctant to be here today. And all the Americans, all the other countries represented here believe the same thing. In fact, I was reminded in references to President Zlensky, a good reminder for us tonight, we don't want to be rescued. Give us more ammunition. I just wanted to make a couple of brief points. What we salute today are all of the Iranian freedom fighters, particularly those of you in country who are hearing us tonight. Your courage and your example, your sacrifices, is the engine that drives this freedom and will ultimately prevail. All freedom-loving people salute you and are inspired by what you do. I think besides the moral courage that you show, we also have to impose the rule of law in everything that we do. The Belgian Treaty, if you want to call it that, is a classic example of the abuse of the rule of law. What happens there, perhaps, is no single individual wanted to take responsibility for releasing a murderer and a terrorist, so they collectively cloaked it with the rule of law to make it call a treaty. It's not a treaty, it's the reprieve of a dangerous terrorist and a bad example which just encourages the taking of other hostages. The other point I wanted to make was accountability. A number of our colleagues have talked about accountability. And as the winds of change and the winds of freedom blow through Iran, we can't forget that people must be held accountable for their crimes of genocide, crimes against humanity perpetrated deliberately over many years. If you're the leader of a country, whether it's a democracy or a totalitarian state, and you break the law and you commit crimes, you have to be held accountable. And that has to happen in Iran at some logical point. The last thing I wanted to say is that the only fear that's being generated here is the fear back in Iran of a democracy movement, of a leader, of people who have sacrificed and committed to the end of a regime that perpetrates nothing but murder, hatred, genocide, and the repression of freedom. Mr. Rejui, your 10 points could be used in any textbook course in freedom and liberty, and is a template for a government of the people that will protect rights and make sure that the regimes that would threaten liberty and take lives will not be able to survive. So thank you all, good luck, and God bless you.